The umbrella bird lives in the tropical forests of South America. It is called the umbrella bird because of the tuft of feathers on its head. A flap of skin covered with feathers hangs down from its neck. The flap looks like an umbrella handle. The umbrella bird is about the size of a crow and lives in the top of high trees.
Umbrella bird reads, U reads,
The umbrella bird ate a purple plum and blew bubbles from his bubble gum.
Unky Umbrella Bird was sniffling. A tear ran down his face. "What's wrong?" asked the sparrow. "I'm an utter failure as an umbrella bird." "How can an umbrella bird be an utter failure?" asked the sparrow. "My umbrella leaks." "Your umbrella leaks?" "Yes, and all the ladybugs that gather under my leaky umbrella get damp." "Well, let's see. What about getting a patch for your umbrella?" suggested the raven. "Nobody patches umbrellas. Have you ever seen an umbrella bird with a patch?" "Well, no, but before this I'd never met an umbrella bird with an umbrella leak." "Poor little damp ladybugs," said the raven. "Let's see. I heard that bubble gum is very strong. How about taking some bubble gum and—" Unky Umbrella Bird sniffed harder than ever. "You don't understand. I can't blow bubbles. I've wanted to all my life." "Can't blow bubbles? I don't understand. Why? Why ever not?" asked the kindly old owl. "Because I can't pucker." "See?" said Unky Umbrella Bird, popping a piece of gum in his mouth. "I'm unable to do it." "Now I understand," said the raven. "No pucker, huh?" said the sparrow. "I can tell you've never ate a green persimmon," uttered the owl. "Persimmons?" squeaked a damp, uncomfortable ladybug. "No, I've never have," said Unky Umbrella Bird. "Persimmons are uncommon around here." "How about a plum?" asked the owl. "A plum! That's it," squeaked the ladybug. "If you eat a sour plum, I think you'd have enough pucker to blow a bubble," agreed the raven. "Let's try it." Unky Umbrella Bird looked interested. "I could try," he said. "Here's a beautiful red plum. I think it's sour," said the sparrow. "Here, try it," said the raven. Unky Umbrella Bird plunged his beak into the red plum. "Ah, that is sour," he muttered, making an ugly face. "If anything will make me pucker, this should," he said. "I think I could even whistle a tune now." The red plum was soon gone, and Unky Umbrella Bird looked around. "Where's some bubble gum?" he asked. Here, said the sparrow. Unky Umbrella Bird popped the bubble gum into his beak. Talk about pucker! His mouth was so puckered he could hardly get the gum in. He took a deep breath, and when he blew, out, 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 out came a beautiful big bubble. "Oh, that will do beautifully," said the sparrow. "Look what a beautiful bubble you have blown," said the raven. "Where is the leak in your umbrella?" "Up there," pointed Unky Umbrella Bird with one wing. "Ah, yes, I see it," the raven worked unhurriedly with the bubble gum. "There," he said, patting it down carefully to plug the leak. "Now you won't have any more leaks." "Oh, good," said the ladybugs. "Oh, good," said Unky Umbrella Bird. They all worked together to fix the leak in Unky Umbrella Bird's umbrella. This shows us that we should work together to do a better job. Why was Unky Umbrella Bird sniffling? That's right, he had a leak in his umbrella. What kind of bugs were getting wet under Unky Umbrella Bird's umbrella? Yes, little tiny ladybugs. What did the birds want to use to patch Unky Umbrella Bird's umbrella? Bubble gum. It's a funny thing to patch with, isn't it? Unky Umbrella didn't know how to pucker. What did the sparrow give Unky Umbrella Bird to make a pucker? Yes, a sour red plum. Did the bubble gum patch work? It did, didn't it? What happens when people work together? That's right, they do a better job. Study to work with your own hands. 1 Thessalonians 4:11a and c. The Bible tells us to do good. The Bible tells us to follow that which is good. That means keep on doing good. Means that if we find it hard to do the right thing, we must figure out a way to do it and not give up. When you say this verse, remember that we ought to do the right thing even when it is not easy. We need to find a way to do the right thing even if it is hard to do. Everywhere Jesus went, people followed him. If they heard he was in their town, they all hurried to see him. One time, he even had to get in a boat and row across the lake to get away from the crowd of people. Once, when Jesus was visiting in a home in Capernaum, many people heard about his being there and came to see and hear Jesus. So many came, there was not room for them in the house. Still more people came, wanting to be healed, to hear Jesus teach, or to have their sins forgiven. Soon the yard was full and no one could get near the house. Jesus preached the word and the people listened. Among those who wanted to see Jesus was a man who had a disease that caused him to be paralyzed. He had 4 friends who wanted to see him healed and were determined to bring him to Jesus. Since he couldn't walk, they carried him on a stretcher. They came near to the outside of the house, but what a crowd of people was there! How could they ever reach Jesus? Perhaps they asked people to move and let them in. "Excuse me, may we get by, please? This man needs to get to Jesus. Will you please let us by?" But the people were pressed close together. No one wanted to give up his place to let them through. After all, Jesus was preaching. "Quiet there, I'm trying to hear. Don't you know it's Jesus preaching? Stop disturbing everyone." "But please, this man needs to see Jesus." "Shh!" There was no way they could get in the door. They had carried their friend all the way, and now he could not get to see Jesus. What a disappointment. "What shall we do?" one may have whispered to another. "I guess we'll have to give up. I can see that we're never going to get into that house," another may have said. "I'm not going to give up," one of them may have said. "I'm going to find a way to get him to Jesus. Here's my friend, and I want to see him healed." Perhaps they went around the outside and looked at the house again. Maybe there was a window that was not full. No, all the windows were filled with people outside looking in. Was there a back door? No, all the doorways were crowded with people. What about the roof? "I have an idea," one may have said to his friends. "Let's go through the roof. If we could just carry him up on the roof, maybe I could find a way to get him through the roof. Don't be silly. We've got to get him to Jesus. That's the only way to have him healed. I think it's worth a try," he may have said excitedly. "Come on." Quickly he tried to find in which room Jesus was. Of course, it was the one with the most people around it. If they could just find the right spot on the roof, they could tie some rope to the corners of the stretcher and let their friend down into the room where Jesus was speaking. Up on the roof went the 4 friends, very carefully carrying the man on the stretcher. "Let's begin right here," one may have said, as he began to pull away the material of the roof. Down below, I'm sure Jesus knew what was happening, but the other people must have been surprised as bits of straw and stick came flying down. "What's going on up there?" someone may have whispered. Soon a hole appeared with hands pulling away at the edge of the hole. Soon it was a very big hole. Something was being pushed through the hole in the ceiling. Why, it was a bed. What was happening? A bed was coming down through the hole in the roof. And there was a man on the bed. Jesus saw that these men loved their friend, and he saw that they had faith that Jesus would heal them. He said to the men, "Son, thy sins be forgiven thee." Of course, having our sins forgiven is much more important than even having our bodies well. Then Jesus said, "Arise, take up your bed and walk to your own house." Do you think the man could stand up, pick up his bed and walk home? Yes, he certainly could, because Jesus had not only forgiven his sins, but he had healed him. Everyone was amazed, and they glorified God, saying, "We never saw anything like this." Mark 2, verse 1 to 12. Character objective. Resourceful. To learn to look for things to do. Remember that sometimes God expects us to do the hard thing. We must be capable and ready to undertake projects that others would overlook or discard. If you know something is right to do, then you must keep trying till you find a way to do it. Study to work with your own hands. 1 Thessalonians 4:11a to c. Study to work with your own hands. 1 Thessalonians 4:11a to c. Study to work with your own hands. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11a and c. Say it with me. Study to work with your own hands. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11a and c. One more time together. Study to work with your own hands. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11a and c.
Listen as I tell you a word. Can you hear the sound? Under. Can you hear the sound in the word under? Yes, under has the sound. Up. Can you hear the sound in the word up? Yes, up has the sound. Tick. Can you hear the sound in the word tick? Yes, tick has the sound. Jam. Can you hear the sound in the word jam? No, jam doesn't have the sound. Bus. Can you hear the sound in the word bus? Yes, bus has the sound. Bucket. Can you hear the sound in the word bucket? Yes, bucket has the sound. Tart. Can you hear the sound in the word tart? No, tart doesn't have the sound. Bob. Can you hear the sound in the word bob? No, bob doesn't have the sound. Duck. Can you hear the sound in the word duck? Yes, duck has the sound. Rub. Can you hear the sound in the word rub? Yes, rub has the sound. Listen as I read a sentence. Can you find the word that has the sound? Leave it under my table. Can you hear the word that has the sound? Leave it under my table. That's right, under has the sound. Jesus went back to heaven. Can you hear the word that has the sound? Jesus went back to heaven. That's right, Jesus has the sound. Buckets hold water. Can you find the word that has the sound? Buckets hold water. That's right, buckets has the sound. Duck says quack, quack. Can you find the word that has the sound? Duck says quack, quack. That's right, duck. Her dog upset his bowl. Can you find the word that has the sound? Her dog upset his bowl. That's right. Upset has the word. Let's blend these sounds. M, a, ma. S, sa. F, fa. R, ra. B, ba. N, na. G, ga. J, ja. T, ta. Pa. D, da. Ha. L, la. Ka. Ka. S, sa. J, ja. Let's blend these sounds into words. N, t. N, t. Nut. Nut. K, t. K, t. Cut. Cut. H, t. H, t. Hut. Hut. H, t. H, t. Hunt. Hunt. P, t. P, t. Punt. Punt. R, t. R, t. Runt. Runt. R, g. R, g. Rug. Rug. B, g. B, g. Bug. Bug. H, g. H, g. Hug. Hug. S, m. S, m. Some. Some. G, g. Gum. Gum. H, hum. Hum. S, sun. Sun. F, fun. Fun. B, bun. Bun. J, junk. Junk. B, bunk. Bunk. D, dunk. Dunk. B, d. Bud. Bud. M, d. Mud. Mud. K, d. Cud. Cud. T, b. Tub. Tub. K, b. Cub. Cub. H, b. Hub. Hub. K, up. Cup. Cup. P, pup. Pup. S, sup. Sup. B, s. Bus. Bus. M, mus. Mus. F, s, 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 fuss, fuss.
Umbrella bird reads uh. You reads uh.